Yeah, I'd just like to, I don't know where we go, either in the board goals or district goals, but I think one of the goals should be to come to a fair, equitable, as quick as possible settlement of the futures in the contract. That makes everybody happy.
I agree. And I mentioned it at the last meeting.
Should be done right somewhere.
Any motions for the steps we want to add to this, or we can do it at the meeting?
At the last meeting, I gave you a draft of this. I said if you had any additions or edits, please contact me. And essentially no one did. You contacted me today with some edits. But certainly we could discuss those now, and we could table this and vote on it at the next meeting. Or we could incorporate those edits and vote on them after. So it's up to you as a board.
I have a few.
A few that you'd like to propose, and we
Yeah,
can figure out from there.
Okay. Tom, do you have any more?
No, that was the only one.
Okay. Under board goals, probably under all three, you can pick your category. I think we can pass the budget. What? Pass the budget. 2010, 2011 would be a nice goal to have. Under superintendent goals, the last sentence, I would like to add a first word review and improve. And then I had one more item, I'm not sure which category it would be placed, but I would like to suggest that we raise the West Morris Regional High School District's hiring standards by more thoroughly and rigorously scrutinizing applicant credentials against a deeper pool of talent, and present to the Board of Ed all finalists considered, as well as the recommended hire. I'd like to put a focus on improving quality of the hire. If there's a better way to phrase that.
I'm always trying to that would put us in a position of managing the district, which is not our job.
Right. Well, I'm not saying just present the finalists, not take action on them, but to see what the pool of candidates is, and who's not coming here out of the pool that we would like to see, why did they choose not to come, you know, how does the finalists compare to the other contenders that were seriously considered, for a deeper understanding of the process, and to focus on the message that we like to use the quality of the team.
So are you making a motion to amend this?
Not yet. We're doing it generically right now, and then as we narrow it down.
Yes, sir.
I think that sounds very specific, and it does not sound like the board's role in overseeing the district is. We can ask questions certainly about this. I don't think we have to go into the fine details unless we ask those responsible.
I would also say that at our retreat, when we discussed goals, that while areas around including negotiations, the budget, and certainly improving administrative effectiveness were discussed, I don't remember any discussion about hiring standards.
We kind of rushed through these retreats. We did a lot in a little time.
I actually have a question. And I don't know, this might be too broad of a question to be answered right now, that's fine, but whose job is it exactly to hire new people in schools? Is it each individual school, or is it the board?
The board approves new hires.
Oh, okay.
But we're not in charge of hiring.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
It's done by the administration.
Okay.
Some of which is school-based, and then some of which
just central office space.
All right.
That's a question. Do you want to go through these one at a time, or do we want to table the motion and consider these and come back to it the next one?
Vote on them at this meeting since we got a motion there. So if the officer wants to put in the form of an amendment, if she does, I'll second it. I support it 100%. If you don't, we won't.
We have 4 changes here. So we either do all of them and we can do them individually, or we can just as easily have a motion to table this and give people time to think about it. If that's what they think they need.
And suggesting the form.
Okay.
I'm suggesting a table.
Okay.
We have a lot of goals listed here. Sometimes when you start to get a lot, they become less individually effective. And I think we should really think about how best to approach this. This last suggestion is, as I said, pretty specific and not really a board goal. I think we want to think about it and find the right place for it and the right phrasing for it.
You want to make it part of this current board goals, or?
I don't know. I want to think about it. I just heard about it. This is the first I've heard. I don't want to just vote on it as a board goal when I just heard of it.
My thought is we developed these board goals at the last board retreat, and I think they've been presented properly, and I'm ready to vote on it tonight, as written.
Excluding what we've heard tonight.
Correct.
Tom's goal, Tom's suggestion, and Sue's suggestion.
Correct. Otherwise, we'll continue to have board goals going on as tonight. I'll think of something next week.
That means we don't put a goal out there to pass budget, we set it out there every year.
I think that goes with that. I think it's more important that we develop a responsible budget that the taxpayers will approve, not just necessarily quote unquote pass the budget. But yeah, I agree, it's been on there before, but I think that's part of being on board with education is developing your budget and getting it passed in public without having to become a new board goal.
The way we went about formulating the goals on this page was different this year. It was done completely insularly. There was no outside input. So something like passing the budget is a very logical thing to bring up. But sometimes when you're insular, you don't think of those things. We've done this before with an outside third party who obviously would think as they go from district to district about things like that, because that would be a common goal. But maybe some of these things be focused on more closely because of who we were, rather than looking at a different picture like passing the budget.
You know, I have to express a concern about this. I appreciate the effort, and I appreciate the process, and I appreciate the input. But my recollection of the offsite public retreat is that no business was taken, no votes were taken, and yet these all reflect the majority, and not a minority. I have concern about that. We present to the public what the majority we wanted to do in a meeting where no action was taken, and I guess I'd like to just put out for consideration and discussion some other ideas. We ran out of time. We were rushed towards the end. Other thoughts occurred, and I'd like to take the time to think about them. I took time to think about them and present them, and I have reasons for it. I'd like you to give it some consideration.
Yes, two of our board members that were present at that meeting are not here tonight to voice their opinion. And that concerns me. If we start changing the goals or adding to the goals and take a vote on it, and they're not here.
Do we have a quorum?
Yes, we do. It wouldn't be meaning if we didn't.
Okay. We can't hold up action until we get 100% distance there.
But you don't want to set goals without having the endorsement of the members that devise them.
Could be June until we get 9 members here.
What we had, what they agreed to was on this page. As far as I know, since we didn't hear from them.
I agree with Sue that there was no vote, so there was no agreement on anything at that retreat.
There's a difference between a vote and agreement. These were common themes that came out of the evening. And I would disagree with your assessment that we were rushed. We spent more time on board, district, and superintendent goals this year than we ever have in the 4 years that I've been on the board.
I agree, but I don't know that we got there.
Goals are necessarily good. If they're all-inclusive, then they become difficult to manage to the point that it becomes meaningless. A good rule of thumb is usually 3 to 4 goals per topic area, and just barely within that. And a little bit over on the district goals already.
Kristen, what strikes me about these goals is how unambitious they are. That's really what sticks out now. I'm not finished. How unambitious and unspecific, and the lack of any objective measures to determine how well or whether these goals can end. In fact, were met. In fact, many of these could be accomplished tomorrow because they start with words like begin, or seek, or investigate, or improve, or continue, or initiate, or examine. All of those things can be done tomorrow. These are not specific